What am I fighting for? Everything back and more. And I don't wanna let this go. I'm ready to settle the score. Get ready, 'cause this is
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, because I don't know where you are in the world, but welcome to Robot Wars Reborn Cup Season 3, Episode 3, Heat C. Oh, I love when things rhyme. Hopefully today, we get a seeded winner, because the last two heats, well, the seeded machine didn't win. Storm 2, at least, in last week's episode, he made the heat final and still has a chance through the wild card selection, but can't say the same for Carbide. Deuces. Anyway, we got another 8 robots ready to go, ready to prove themselves, ready to claim that spot because apparently every heat is up for grabs, more so than we thought. Well, I think it's time now to introduce Rich, who, now you've had some proper time to recover after all the chaos in the 2 episodes that went down last week. How you doing, Rich? Are you guys excited over there for another episode?
Hi, Mom.
Hi, sweetie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. What was all that noise?
What was that?
What was all that noise?
Oh, I'm trying to put you on speaker. I'm recording the video right now. Say hi to YouTube.
Oh, hello, YouTube.
Yeah, I'm recording for the Robot Wars Reborn Cup. Do me a favor. Say, let the wars begin.
Okay, let the wars begin.
There you go. To the battle board. So here we go, guys. It's time for Heat C to commence, with the 6th seed Chaos 2 ready to engage in a flipper frenzy with Rapid. That ought to be a good fight. And Firestorm and the Revolutionist are both back after falling in the first round last season. Well, one of them will get a win this time around, no doubt. Crushation is back, also hoping to get a win under his belt, but first he'll have to trump Donald Thump. But up first, it's Saint Aggro, who can drive upside down and right side up, going up against Pussycat, who can drive on all side, any side, whatever side, and yes side.
From St. Agnes in Cornwall, a Saint Aggro.
We welcome the return of the robotic maelstrom, Saint Aggro, who finished 1-1 last season with a win over Foxic, which is not saying much, before losing in humiliating fashion to Tough as Nails. Let's hope he learned his lesson, and this time around he'll keep his exposed wheels protected.
From Gloucester, Pussycat.
Speaking of exposed wheels, Pussycat returns after losing to Apocalypse in round 1 last season, with 9 brand new lives helping to guide him through the competition. He may be as big as Garfield, but he's also as fierce as Agent Kitty Catswell.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
So it's Saint Aggro, the invertible flipper, against Pussycat, the bot invertible from all possible sides that you can and can't think of. As Saint Aggro comes in with a flipper to pop Pussycat up not once, not twice, but thrice. Pussycat trying to get that blade into play as he is dangerously close to the pit already, and now he's on all fours. You don't want to be there, Pussycat. You really don't want to be there, Pussycat. Down he goes. Saint Aggro with a quick KO already, getting under and exploiting a high ground clearance of Pussycat before dumping him down into oblivion. Pussycat goes down the hole, and Saint Aggro goes through. Wow, and I thought Furball from Tiny Toons was unlucky. Pussycat goes out in the first round for the 2nd consecutive season. Suffering succotash. Saint Aggro through to round 2, and next up is Crushation against Donald Thump.
From Hale, Greater Manchester, Crushtation.
Crushation is another returning competitor that went out in round 1 last season, in this case against Diotor. He's got those razor sharp claws that will go stabby stabby. He ain't flabby. If you're crabby, Crushation.
From Hereford, Donald Thump.
Now this is the greatest robot ever. It's absolutely the best. Ignore all those alternative facts and fake news about it. It's got wheels, it's got a weapon, it's got victory in its sight, and it will grab it by the
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
So, will Crushation grab a hold of victory this time around? Or can Donald Thump muster up enough kofefe to pull off a victory of his own? Well, so far, both robots are just sort of glancing off each other, giving a love tap to one another. Donald Thump getting in underneath Crushation with that spinner, and he flipped him over onto his side. But Crushation, fortunately for him, was able to roll upside down and back on his wheels. Take a look at that. Donald Thump with a nice attack there, using that spinner as a way to get under Crushation and turn him up and over. Donald Thump getting under Crushation and flipping him over yet again. That weapon of Donald Thump has proven to be very effective so far, and now he's got Crushation up onto his side and against the wall, and I don't think Crushation will be able to recover from that attack. He's being counted out, and Donald Thump is just going to lay back and wait for the count to reach 0, and it does so. Crushation is immobilized, and Donald Thump is through to the next round after taking a shot in the head by a range. Wow, the animal-themed robots are having no such luck tonight. First, Pussycat goes out in round 1 yet again, and the same thing applies here to Crushation. Donald Thump is through to the next round, and next up it's Firestorm versus the Revolutionist.
From Durham, Firestorm.
Firestorm has appeared twice before and fell in the first round both times. He was knocked out in round 1 by 259 in Season 1, and then knocked out in round 1 by the Alien in Season 2. Will it be third time's the charm for this front hinge flipper? We shall find out momentarily.
From the United States, the Revolutionist.
The Revolutionist is another robot that fell in the first round last season, in this case at the hands of Tough as Nails. Let's hope the team have had a lot of practice driving since then, because since it's a full-body spinner, it's not always made clear which way this robot is facing.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
And here we go with the second half of the opening round. Firestorm going for the box rush, but the Revolutionist slips away to spin himself up. Firestorm in the path got knocked out by vertical spinners, and here he is facing a horizontal spinner. Will that make any difference? Oh, that's gotta hurt. Revolutionist with a nice hit there, smacking Firestorm silly. Take a look. Firestorm becoming a full body spinner for a second with some assistance from the Revolutionist. Firestorm going for the pit release button. There goes the siren, but the pit's not open yet. Now it is. That was a bit of a delayed reaction right there, as the Revolutionist is now up to full deadly speed. Firestorm going in for the attack, but the Revolutionist bounces right off him and smacks him aside, not once, but twice. Firestorm desperate to slow down the Revolutionist, but every time he goes in there, he is taking some damage from the full-body spinner, who seemed to be deadlier this season, because last season when he fought Tough as Nails, he hardly did any damage to the Dutch machine. Firestone with another attack there, but unable to get underneath the Revolutionist. Well, Revolutionist now slow to a halt, but is getting away from Firestorm to spin back up. Firestorm trying to chase him down, trying to slow down the spinner, but is unsuccessful, and the Revolutionist spinning back up again. You can actually see a little slice right there on the side of Firestorm from an earlier attack by the Revolutionist. As he's spinning up again, Firestorm trying to guide the Revolutionist toward the pit, but the Revolutionist said, nope, I am not going to repeat the same demise that I had last season against Tough as Nails. It ain't going to happen. Firestorm doing everything he can to get under the Revolutionist, but this keeps happening here. He keeps taking more hits from the American full-body spinner, and is suffering some more damage. Firestorm with another charge there, but only succeeded in popping himself up off the floor instead of the Revolutionist like he was hoping. Revolutionist scoring more points, causing some more damage with those spinning teeth as Firestorm pushes the Revolutionist on the flipper, but the Revolutionist able to drive off, no problem. If the Revolutionist gets flipped over, we all know that he is incapable of self-righting. Firestorm, on the other hand, can. Revolutionist drives himself into the wall, showing some poor control, but give him a bit of leeway. It is a full body spinner. It's never made clear which way is forward when it comes to driving a full body spinner. Oh, Firestorm was under the Revolutionist there, but only for a split second. Firestorm with a flip, and he threw the Revolutionist out of the arena in a single attack! Wow, what a comeback by Firestorm! One flip, and the Revolutionist is out! Wow, that was incredible. Firestorm was quite possibly the biggest comeback of the tournament so far, and for the second time in a row, the Revolutionist falls in the first round. And now, wrapping things up in the first round, it's the 6th seed Chaos 2 against Rapid.
From Ipswich, seeded number 6, Chaos 2.
Chaos 2 had an impressive run last season, making it all the way to the grand final and losing at the hands of Atomic, Carbide, and the eventual champ Can Opener, thus giving him the number 6 seed. Can he go one step beyond this time around? Only time will tell.
From Central London, Rapid.
Rapid performed decently last season, throwing 259 out of the arena before being thrown out of the arena himself by Gravity. Had he won that match against Gravity, he would have fought Chaos 2 then, but here he is against Chaos 2 right now. This could be a real challenge for him.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
So, it's flipper on flipper, and Rapid gets the first flip in on Chaos 2. And again, Chaos 2 in a bit of a pickle right from the get-go. Here's the initial impact between the two machines, resulting in Chaos 2 flipping himself forward onto the flipper of Rapid. Chaos 2 now underneath Rapid and flipping him over, returning the favor. Rapid now inverted. Let's see if he can use his flipper to right himself as Chaos 2 throws Rapid up against the wall. Can he get him out of the arena? Won't Rapid right himself before he gets thrown out? Rapid on top of the ankle grinder! Rapid just managing to stay in somehow, but he is not out of the woods yet. Rapid is now thrown on his side, still struggling to self-right. Chaos 2 lining up for another attempt to throw him out, and Rapid still managing to stay in the arena, but still struggling to recover. Chaos 2 got him on the wall again, going for another attempt to throw him out. Rapid is still struggling to self-right. He is back on his back. Chaos 2 backing away to line up for another shot, or no, where's he going? Is he going for the pit release button? Yes, he is. Is he going to push Rapid down the pit perhaps? Or no, he might be going for another attempt to throw Rapid out of the arena. He's got Rapid back on the grinder again. Rapid landing back upside down, still staying in the arena somehow. But for how long? Chaos 2 is doing everything he can to throw Rapid out of the arena. Can Rapid get himself back down? Yes, he can! And he flicks Chaos 2 aside. Rapid, goodness me, how in the world did he survive all of that? Look at that, Rapid back in on the action, throwing Chaos 2 aside. My goodness, I cannot believe after all that, Rapid managed to stay in the arena and in the match. Rapid is now looking to get some revenge on Chaos 2 to give him a taste of his own medicine, and he does so right there, flipping Chaos 2 over onto his side. Rapid returning the favor to the seated machine, and Chaos 2 struggling to right himself, and he's being counted out! Are we going to see another seated machine fall in the first round?
Cease.
Yes, we are! Chaos 2 has been counted out! So that's how we conclude round 1, folks, with another major cup set, another seated machine falling in the first round. Chaos 2, against all odds, after doing all the hard work, is out. And it's Rapid Rapid, who will be joining Firestorm, Donald, Thump, and Saint Aggro in round 2. And here's how things look for round 2. We got Firestorm in a flipper frenzy with Rapid, but first we are going to have Saint Aggro face Donald Thump.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
And we begin round 2 with Saint Aggro immediately on the attack, but he turns himself over rather than Donald Thump. There we go. Now he got a flip on Donald Thump, who is now up on his backside and just barely able to roll himself back on his wheels. Saint Aggro giving Donald a 1.5 flip with his double flipper, and he's now bailing for the pit release button, and he touched it, but the pit remains closed. As Donald gets a few hits with a spinner, now the pit is open after a second attempt from Saint Aggro, who's trying to get under Donald Thump, and he fired the flipper too early and turns himself over again. There you go, that's more like it. Saint Aggro with another flip on Donald Thump, as you can see right here, giving him another 1.5 flip. But Donald, once again, using that spinner to right himself, and again, after another flip there by Saint Aggro. Oh, Saint Aggro with another flip, but misses yet again and turns himself over. Saint Aggro showing a little bit of a lack of control here, mistiming those flips. That's another good flip right there. Can Saint Aggro perhaps get Donald Thump out of the arena? He's lining up, but Donald is just able to get away before Saint Aggro could even make an attempt to throw him out of the arena. And now he's got Saint Aggro trapped against the wall, but Saint Aggro just able to flip out of it. Yeah, not slip out of it, flip out of it. Take a look, Saint Aggro caught between a rock and a hard place, and he's able to use his flipper to escape successfully. And now he's going to use that flipper to flip Donald over again, as well as himself. Donald using that spinner to get under Saint Aggro and score some hits on the underside of his opponent before getting another flip from said opponent. Both robots now sizing each other up. Donald Thump's weapon spinning full speed, looking to go for those wheels. Saint Aggro being a bit cautious about approaching Donald Thump, and for good reason. He lost a wheel last season, and that's what cost him a victory when he fought Tough as Nail. Tough as Nail took one of his wheels off, and there's another flip there from Saint Aggro on Donald Thump, and someone lost a piece right there. Let's take a look at the replay. Where'd that piece come from? Who does it belong to? Kind of hard to tell. Oh, it looked like it might have come from Donald Thump. His weapon is now wobbling. Yeah, you can see there the weapon and the motor of Donald Thump are now unbalanced and shaking like crazy. Saint Aggro getting a little impatient there, popping a flipper before he could fully get under Donald Thump. That's more like it. We are winding down the closing seconds of this match. This is going to be a close one for the judges to call. And one final attack from Donald Thump with a couple more nicks with that spinner, and cease has been called. And so, with the fight going the distance, the judges have been called upon to make a decision based on aggression, damage, strategy, and control. And the judges, for the first time ever, have gone in the arena to inspect both robots for damage. Yeah, it was that close. And even though Donald Thump caused a bit of damage to Saint Aggro, the piece that we saw on the floor earlier did in fact belong to the spinner of Donald Thump. So the judges went ahead and took those into consideration, and the winner, advancing to the Heat C final, is Saint Aggro! Donald Thump did all he could, but Saint Aggro showed him that he's as useless as the real deal. I apologize, that was really mean. I shouldn't talk trash about the robot like that. But anyway, Saint Aggro through, where he will fight either Firestorm or Rapid.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
So we got another flipper frenzy, this time between a rear hand flipper and a front hand flipper. Rapid pushing Firestorm back, and he ends up flipping himself over in the process. And Rapid is struggling to right himself, just like in his last match with Chaos 2. Take a look. Rapid with a lot of torque behind those wheels, but maybe a bit too much torque for his own liking. Firestorm opened up the pit, and Rapid is still struggling to right himself, and he is now being counted out. It looked like we're in for a very quick victory for Firestorm here, as the countdown has just reached 0. Rapid is immobilized. So, Firestorm has taken out Rapid in a rapid KO, as we are guaranteed one more Flipper Frenzy taking place in tonight's Heat Final. It's Saint Aggro and Firestorm for a spot in the series semifinals. Back over to you, Nick.
Well, we've seen quite a lot of drama in these 6 fights so far tonight, resulting in a Heat Final between Firestorm and Saint Aggro. Yeah, that's probably not what anyone would have expected going into tonight's fights. Chaos 2, yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. Anyway, at least Firestorm has made it. He's a bot that has good history in real-life Robot Wars. I know he went 2 seasons back-to-back getting 4th place and was just shy of making the title match, just shy of taking home a title himself. So for him to be in the Heat Final, I'm not totally surprised. This is one bot that's just struggled a little bit in the recreate scene, but he's finally starting to figure it out, which is very nice to see. As for Saint Aggro, I always thought he was a bot that had a little bit of potential. Didn't have a good tournament last time out. I know he beat the Revolutionist, and then he lost in his next fight. Who did he fight in round 2? I can't remember. My memory's a little shady. I apologize. But anyway, he's here. He's got a chance. And these bots do match up well together. We got 2 flippers that could expose each other for their ground clearance issues, should they have any. It's going to be a real close fight. Rich, who do you think is going to win Heat C?
Thanks, Nick. So, 6 more robots are joining our 14 fallen robots from the previous heats up in Robot Heaven. Man, we're really working them angels up there, aren't we? So our 2 best robots of tonight's heat are Saint Aggro and Firestorm. And they both had similar matches tonight, with Saint Aggro scoring an easy win over Pussycat and struggling a bit against Thump. Firestorm, on the other hand, had an easy win over Rapid and struggled a bit against the Revolutionist. So in terms of combat, these 2 were pretty similar. But in design, that's a whole nother story. These 2 couldn't be any more different, with Firestorm having only 1 flipper and Saint Aggro having 2. Firestorm being a front hinge flipper, Saint Aggro being a double-sided rear hinge flipper. And even though they're both 2-wheel drive, Saint Aggro have his wheels all the way at the back, while Firestorm's wheels are more toward the center, and I think that allows for more control compared to Saint Aggro. And I think because of that, I'm going to pick Firestorm to win this heat and the next spot in the semifinals. So, without further ado, let's go to the arena for the Heat C final.
Saint Aggro. Firestorm.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
So, it's flipper on flipper to wrap up Heat C, as Firestorm pushes Saint Aggro back against the arena wall. Neither robot able to get under one another, both very low to the ground, until this moment right here. Firestorm underneath Saint Aggro and scores the first successful attack. Take a look. Firestorm getting under Saint Aggro and using that flipper to overturn his opponent. Topsy-turvy, upsy-daisy. Saint Aggro right side up and running from Firestorm, as both robots now hang out by the drop zone. You really shouldn't be hanging out there. That's a danger zone. Saint Aggro popping Firestorm up. That wasn't really much of a flip. That's a flip right there. Firestorm with another good flip. And again, popping Saint Aggro off the floor. And again, spinning him around like a whirly bird as Saint Aggro trying to right himself. And he does so. Trying to get back in on the action. But Firestorm gets another flip there. Throwing Saint Aggro completely off the floor. Let's have another look on the replay. Firestorm gets under his opponent and throws him a couple of feet above the arena floor. Saint Aggro flipping himself upside down and right side up. Again, showing a bit of poor control as Firestorm goes for the pit release button. And Saint Aggro tried to go in for an attack, but to no avail, as Firestorm had him up against the wall again. And now flips him toward the wall, nearly got him out of the arena. Firestorm. Oh, St. Aggro! He almost went out. Look how close he was to getting thrown out of the arena. Had that angle grinder not been there, St. Aggro surely would have gone over the wall and out. St. Aggro should be thankful for that angle grinder saving his life and keeping him in the match. But Firestorm got him back against the wall again. Ooh, and St. Aggro gets thrown against the wall again and back towards the pit. But St. Aggro is able to swerve out of it before Firestorm could finish the job and finish off St. Aggro to dump him into the pit of oblivion. But St. Aggro able to hold his ground, but not like that though. Not by flipping himself over, he ain't. St. Aggro again showing poor control. We've seen this happen to him before. And St. Aggro, what was he thinking there? Popping the flipper before he and Firestorm made contact, leaving himself vulnerable to another attack from the front hinge flipper of Firestorm. Both robots now meet wedge to wedge. Once again, they are both so low to the ground. Firestorm trying to get around to the side of St. Aggro, but St. Aggro able to spin out of it. But not for long, though. St. Aggro gets thrown over the angle grinder, and St. Aggro nearly went out of the arena for a second time. Oh, my goodness. St. Aggro just surviving, going over the edge twice. Time has run out, and it goes to the judges. Wow, what a way to wrap up this heat. Both robots fought very well, but unfortunately, one of them, and only one of them, will be given the privilege to go through to the series semifinals. It all depends on what the judges say, and based on aggression, damage, strategy, and control, the winner of tonight's heat is Firestorm! Yes, Firestorm will be storming through to the series semifinals, and St. Aggro, unfortunately, will be left behind in the dust. So what do you think about that heat final, Nick? What can we expect in the upcoming heats?
And so the episode concludes with Firestorm on his way to earning some respect back from some of the viewers. He's finally starting to look like himself. He's finally starting to reach a stage of the competition that we normally expect him to get to pretty much all of the time. Bad luck for St. Aggro. He did everything he could. He was definitely trying new strategies and they just weren't working out for him as much as he kept going at it. How do you think he did in terms of the wild card picture? He's going to be competing with Storm 2 and Tornado so far for these spots that are up for grabs. He did alright. Doesn't necessarily have the knockout power. We saw him struggle a little bit against Donald Thump, but maybe he showcased himself as dominant despite no knockout potential. There's a lot to debate, and there's only 3 bots that we're debating here. One thing's for sure. Can we get a seated machine to show up this year, please? Because we're gonna have a strange looking semifinal field at the rate we're going. Hopefully next week we can change that. But on behalf of Rich, Sam for filming, and everyone else helping with production, I'm Nick. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next week for Heat D. Hopefully we get a little change in fortune.